All right. So it was a big Klavanless weekend, especially in Britain. It was almost, it was almost like the Klavanless abyss in Britain, where they had this election. And Theresa May thought she was going to increase her majority, so it was going to give her some leverage when she went in to negotiate Brexit with the EU, and instead she got nailed. I mean, and all of this, Americans talk about why this happened. It happened for purely local reasons. It happened because she was, she's kind of got no charisma. She cut the police force. She cut the police force funding, and then there were these terrorist attacks. I'm not sure how much that had to do with it, but she really is not somebody who has won the affection of the public, and she's not a very good politician, it appears. So she really got nailed. But the thing that is really, for Brexit goes forward because they've already filed that Article 50 or whatever it was. They've already said they're leaving. They will leave. All this stuff about negotiating a soft Brexit or a hard Brexit, it shouldn't bother Americans one way or another, even if they leave and they have no deal with the EU. It's not going to be a disaster. It hasn't been a disaster up till now. If you think back and remember the way they were talking about this, set your hair on fire, run out into the streets screaming, this is the worst thing that ever happened. Turned out wasn't the worst thing that ever happened at all. The economy was fine until this election. The problem here is Jeremy Corbyn, and the problem is that young people voted for him. And we're going to get back to that later in the program because it really does say something. Jeremy Corbyn he's a loon. He's a bad guy. He is not just a communist. He's an anti-Westerner. He consorts with terrorists from the IRA to Latin American terrorists to Hamas and guys like that. And he's all about, like, when these terrorists, he said that we shouldn't shoot the terrorists. That's overreacting. We just want to settle things peacefully. That is how you settle things peacefully with terrorists. You shoot them. That is the best possible way to settle things peacefully with the terrorists. This is a bad guy. And the fact that people voted for him, I mean, he doesn't like, he kind of is for Brexit too, because he's from the left. He hates the EU. But the fact that people voted for him tells you something about how lost the West is. I've talked about this before, about the fact that we've lost this consensus that we had after the war. We're like in this zero gravity room with all the furniture floating around. We don't know where it's going to land. And that's what's affecting us here too. Why so many people are so angry, and so many people don't even understand. This is kind of part of what I want to talk about. They don't even understand the bases of their own philosophy. So they just know they're angry when somebody disagrees with them.